dwelling of the human beings started from the ancient time, from the forest to cave, from kacha houses to pakka houses, from rural to urban. Welcome back students. I am your geography teacher Vandana Joshi and you are watching SST June. Students, today we are going to start a new chapter in geography that is about the human settlement. How the human beings settled down at one place to another. How they migrated from rural to urban. What are the different types of settlement in the rural areas and the urban areas? But before going to start with the topics, let's watch a quick video through which you may understand about the settlements of human being from early stage to current stage. Let's see the topics which we are going to cover in our today's video. So first of all, we will study about the settlement. What is settlement? Under the first topic, introduction of the human settlement. And then after that, we will see the types of settlement as the rural and the urban settlement. Out of which, in the third topic of today's video, we will study the rural settlement and its subpart, in which we will see about the clustered settlement, semi-clustered settlement, hamleted settlement, and also the isolated or the interior settlement. So let's see what are our today's topics in detail. And also at the last of the video, I will provide you some key points which are related to the chapter. So what is settlement? Settlement means where the people are living. So here settlement means dwelling of any size or type where people live more or less permanently. Means it can be of any size. It can be large, small or negotiable. Where the people living permanently or temporary basis. As till the previous chapters we have studied about the density of population as well as the migration of population, due to which the population of any given area is fluctuating and there are many reasons behind their fluctuation. So settlement is also affected by the migration of the people due to various ways, where we can include that it is divided according to size, means according to the given area and the population, and socio-economic activities. What are the activities are followed by the men for their society as well as their economical activities like agriculture, secondary type of activity in which we can include the manufacturing and industrial activities. Then after that, it is also affected by the ecology, means what are the climatic or the topographic conditions of that given area. As we know, human beings are to be live in a particular area, or they have to be prefer on that area only which are climatically moderate for them or which are suitable for their environment. So ecology is also a most important part through which the human beings are divided according to their settlement. And the next important thing is the technology, where we can include the technology is the best way through which the human can interact with each other. Also they can earn more and more, and it is easy for their survival. So for a better human settlement, the technology is also an important part. Now let's look moreover on the human settlement. Human settlement involves grouping of people and appointing of territories as a resource base. Settlements vary in size and types. Type of settlements are determined by the extent of built up area, inter-houses distances, and there are two types of human settlement. That is the rural settlement, and the second is the urban settlement. The people who prefer to live in the rural or the countryside area or the villages area, which are less developed as compared to the cities, these are known as the rural settlement. Whereas the much developed area or technically developed area are coming under the urban settlement, about which we will study in the next video. So these are some common types of the settlement, where today we are going to study about the rural settlements. So what is the rural settlement? So if you will go through the features of the rural settlement, in India, compact or clustered villages of a few hundred houses is common, particularly in the northern plains. But there are areas with other forms of rural settlement. There are various factors and conditions responsible for having different types of rural settlement in India. These includes physical features, in which we can include nature of terrain, altitude, climate, and availability of water. Secondly, it includes the cultural and ethnic factors, in which we can include the social structure, caste, and religion. In third point, we can include the security factors like defense against thieves and robbers. Guided by these factors, rural settlement in India can broadly be put into four types. First is the clustered or nucleated settlement. Second is semi-clustered or fragmented settlement. Third is the hamleted settlement, and fourth is isolated settlement, about which now we are going to study in detail. At the first type of rural settlement, that is the clustered settlement. Clustered, we can say the areas which are built up closely. So here we can say as the clustered settlement, in which the villages, under the villages, the houses of the people are closely built up, in which we can say the houses are settled at the nearby, generally nearby the rivers or some water bodies, where they are having much facilities. In the second point, we can say there is a general living area is distinct and separated from surrounding farms. So where the people are living in the clustered settlement, it is generally far from the farms where they lived together, and also it is far from the runs and the pastures, so that they can easily build up their industrial, or we can say village based industry on that area. And the third point, we can say the clustered settlements we can easily recognize because these are built up into the linear or the radial type of settlement, as you can see in the picture. And if in India, we know India is a country where there are many villages, So here we are getting these type of clustered rural type of settlement generally in the alluvial plain areas which are situated into the northern plain areas of our country formed by the rivers. So here we can say in India the clustered settlements are generally found in the alluvial plain area and all the northeast states. Now let's see more about the clustered settlement through the video. The clustered rural settlement is a compact or closely built up area of houses. Here, the general living area is distinct and separated from the surrounding farms, bands, and the pastures. The closely built up area and streets from recognizable patterns or geometric shapes such as rectangular, radial, linear, etc. These are found in fertile alluvial plains and in the northeastern states. People live in compact village for security or defense reasons, such as in the Bundelkhand region of central India and in Nagaland. In Rajasthan, scarcity of water has necessitated compact settlement for maximum utilization of available water resources. So here we can say the compact settlement has been done by the people to live a easy life. Now if we will talk about the semi-clustered settlement. We know that clustered settlement are formed near around the compact area or also known as the compact settlement. So semi-clustered settlement are also known as the semi-compact settlement. But why these are different from the clustered or the compact settlement and how these are formed? There are many reasons behind it, as the socio-economic factor is a responsible factor to form a semi-clustered settlement, where we can include first of all, it is happening due to the separation of large compact villages. In the areas where the villages are built in a large manner and there is a lack of resources in that, so there they have to build the semi type of settlement in that area to make them separate as a separate village. Reason we can say that the cluster settlements are formed without any rules and regulation, whereas the semi-clustered settlements, when few groups of people is forced to live away from the cluster due to the lack of resources, due to some any other issues. If a group of people is forced to live to another from the clustered settlement, in that case also the semi-clustered type of rural formation is also in many areas, as we have also seen generally in the villages the groups of peoples are situated according to their community. So that is also a reason for the semi-cluster settlement. Third, due to the discrimination, sometimes caste-wise discrimination, religious-wise discrimination, race-wise discrimination is also there, due to which the discriminated group has to be forced to settle down in the semi-cluster form of their villages. And also here we can include some community issues. In many areas we have seen the community issues like the religious wise, they have to form their own settlement. In many society also in the urban settlement as well, these type of issues we can see which are responsible for the semi-cluster settlement. Now let's see in which areas we are seeing that the semi-clustered settlement. Hamleted settlements are the third type of the rural settlement. in which the settlements are fragmented into several units. It is physically separated from each other, in which in earlier time also we have seen many types of clans in the societies. So here also these are also having some names, or we can say they are bearing few common names, which is also known as the Panna, Para, Palli, Nagla, Thani, etc. These are the common name of the hamleted settlement. Here, these are often separated because of the social or ethnic factors. Here we can say the communities which are following the same religion or same customs and rules and regulation, they are having their own settlement, which is known as the hamleted settlements. And another point we can say, it is found in the middle and lower Ganga plain, Chhattisgarh and lower valleys of Himalayas. Here one more important thing is that the hamleted settlement is generally followed by the Banjaras, or we can say the groups which are little bit isolated from the common society, and they have to form their own settlement in which they are practicing some rules and regulation which are framed by their community. The next type of human settlement is dispersed settlement, or where we can say, which is also known as the isolated settlement. It is in the form of isolated herds or hamlets of few herds, where you can see the houses are built up too far from each other. Even sometime in a per square kilometer, only one house has been formed. It is coming under the isolated settlement. Here, some remote jungles, hills with farms or pastures on slopes are also built. Generally, the isolated settlement have been visible in the interior or very rough topographical areas in the mountains or the hill station, where climate is also too harsh and also the life of the living beings is very rough. And here we can say it is caused extremely fragmented nature of terrain and land resource based, where the people are not having resources, transport facilities, and also the technological development is also too much far from these isolated settlement. And generally these type of disappeared settlements are found near around Meghalaya, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand and Kerala. Here are few pictures you can see about the isolated settlement. Friends, here our today's topic is complete. Hope you understood about the rural settlement. Now I am going to provide you few keywords which are very helpful to you to understand various topics in the chapter. In the next video, we will study about the urban settlement, which is the most important part of the chapter. So for that, keep watching SST June and don't forget to note down the keywords which I am providing you at the last of the video. First keyword is settlement. Settlement means cluster of dwelling of any type of size where humans live. However, in geography, settlement is also considered as a process of coming together to live an area or locality. This process of phenomenon is also called occupancy. Next keyword is ancient town. Ancient towns means most of these towns developed as religious and cultural centers. Varanasi is one of the most important towns among these. Prayag, Allahabad, Pataliputra, Patna, Madurai are some examples of ancient towns in the country. Then after that, medieval towns. Most of them developed as headquarters of principalities and kingdoms. These are 4 towns which came up on the ruins of ancient towns. Important among them are Delhi, Hyderabad, Jaipur, Lucknow, Agra and Nagpur. Modern towns. The British and other Europeans have developed a number of towns in India. They first developed some trading ports such as Surat, Daman, Goa, Pondicherry, etc. The British later consolidated their hold around three principal nodes: Mumbai, Chennai, and Kolkata, and built them in the British style town. Next keyword is administrative towns and cities. Towns supporting administrative headquarters of higher order are administrative towns such as Chandigarh, New Delhi, Bhopal, Shillong, Guwahati, Imphal, Srinagar, Gandhinagar, Jaipur, and Chennai, etc. Next is the industrial town. Industries constitute prime motive force of these cities such as Mumbai, Salem, Coimbatore, Modinagar, Jamshedpur, Hooghly, Bhilai, etc. Next is the commercial towns. Towns and cities specializing in trade and commerce are kept in this class. Kolkata, Saharanpur, Satna, etc. are some examples. Next is the mining towns. These towns have developed in mineral-rich areas such as Raniganj, Jharia, Digboi, Ankleshwar, and Singrauli, etc. Next is the garrison cantonment towns. These towns emerged as garrison towns such as Ambala, Jalandhar, Mahoba, Babina, Udhampur for the army.